We've all had some bad dreams. But I'm sure I've had more of them than most of you. When I was younger, I was having a nightmare at least once a week. I was just a kid, so it was a very scary period for me. My nightmare started when I was about 8 years old and lasted for at least 5 years. I can only remember few of those dreams. The hanged girl in the first dream, I'm in my bathroom looking at myself in the mirror. Everything is completely normal until I look down. What I saw haunted me for years. There was a little girl with black hair over her face. She was hanged. As she started getting bigger, I started getting smaller and smaller. I tried to scream, but I just couldn't make noise. In that moment I blacked out and woke up. I wasn't able to fall asleep for hours after that. The girl in the woods, I was running through the woods. It was great. There were beautiful colors around me and everything was just fine. Then at one moment my look traveled to some kind of a hilltop and there she was. The girl from the first dream, just staring at me. It was so scary that I woke up the second I saw her. But then it got even worse because I was so scared that I couldn't sleep again. The bodybuilder with tattoos, I went into the church in my neighborhood and sat next to my family. Few seconds passed, when a guy with long hair, tattoos and huge muscles sat next to me. He just looked me in the eyes, grabbed my throat and started strangling me. I blacked out and woke up again. That dream wasn't as scary, but I was scared at that moment. These are just some of the dreams I remember from my childhood. Every time I had a bad dream I couldn't fall asleep after. I would just pray and pray to God for hours and after some time I would eventually be able to fall asleep. Prayer helped me a lot. It made me feel relaxed and safe. Those dreams made me hate going to sleep. I wasn't able to sleep without lights on or alone in the room. I don't have nightmares anymore, but there was this one time something really weird happened. It was 6 months ago. I don't know what this was, but it was different than before. I'm not even sure if it was a dream. I'm laying in my bed and I can see this weird black ball moving towards me, somewhere far, far away from me, and it keeps getting closer and closer. It was moving very fast and the closer it got to me the more I felt some kind of irrational fear growing inside me. After just a millisecond it was in front of my apartment and the fear grew even bigger. But what happened next was one of the worst feelings ever for me. The shadow ball entered my room and ran through my chest. It was the scariest moment I have experienced in my life. After that I woke up paralyzed and freaking shaking and sweating like crazy. The only thing I could do at that moment was to scream, so I did. My brother woke up thinking it was just a nightmare. He calmed me down and went back to sleep. He fell asleep in a second. But the dream isn't even the scariest part. I looked at my mobile phone and it was 0:01. So basically, this stuff happened straight at midnight. That added even a bigger portion of fear to what was about to happen next. Everyone in the apartment was firm asleep except me. Obviously, I just couldn't stop thinking about the dream. At that moment I felt a sheer dose of that crazy irrational fear that comes from the deepest parts of your brain. I knew something else was in the room with me. I could literally feel it watching me. It was so close and I was just paralyzed with fear. I started praying and prayed throughout the night, but that presence just wouldn't go away. It was excruciating knowing it's just standing there beside me, looking at me. After a few hours I finally fell asleep. What I saw in that dream didn't look so scary, but it scared the crap out of me. The only thing that helped me was prayer. It calmed me down, but it took a while. There definitely was something in the room with us. It couldn't hurt me, but it did its best to scare me. I keep wondering why the dream climax happened exactly at midnight. If anything like this ever happens to you, just pray to Jesus. He will always fight for you.